Hello, guys. Welcome to the SAFF Championship 2021 final match preview between India and Nepal. Big game for both the countries. I think after all the ups and downs, lots of permutation and combination, India's Nepal going to play each other in the final. A different SAFF Championship format this time. There is no semi-final. We just had 5 teams because Bhutan didn't send their team and Pakistan couldn't send their team because they are banned by FIFA. So ultimately, SAFF committee decided that there will be a league and robin round, and each team will play against each other once, and the top 2 team plays the final. And I think this is kind of the biggest match of the SAF South Asian football, because I have said this in past, I will say it again. I think this match is bigger than India versus Pakistan in football, at least geopolitical wise. There's a tension between India and Pakistan, but I think footballing terms, in sporting terms, India and Nepal is game is bigger than India and Pakistan for me. And I think I know about what Nepal feel about this game, and this is their first ever SAF Championship final. I think lots of memories for Nepalese people. Everybody thought that 2013 was the edition, when they were hosting the SAF Championship, and they played well in that championship. But finally now, I think they started championship very well, but ultimately, I think last day of the championship, they were dependent on the penalty to qualify to the final. Unlike India, who started championship very badly, India played draw against Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and then somehow won against Nepal, and then defeated host Maldives handsomely to qualify for the final. So let's start. Let me start with Sudesh straight away. Sudesh, how's the feeling in Nepal? I know you're in Qatar, but lots of Nepalese lives in Qatar, and then of course back home you're in touch with your family and friends. And I was checking Facebook and other social media apps. The Nepalese people are buzzing because last stream which I did for India versus Maldives game, the live stream just before the game, there was 1,800 votes in this stream in our YouTube channel. People were predicting that who they want to face, and I knew majority of them were Nepalese, and 65% of those people said that they want to face India. So how's the feeling in Nepal regarding this game?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the stream yet again. And everyone is happy because we've finally made it to the SAFF Championships final. And this pretty much sums up how Abdullah Al has assembled this team. Every time we've been so close to the finals. For example, 2013 edition, we had that on home, and we were this close to reaching the finals. So this has been the first time since the SAFF format has been introduced.
Just give me 1 second, Shruti. So there is sound problem. Some people are saying, uh, aren't we clear to you guys? Because I think everything is fine from our end. We both can listen each other. So is there any sound problem for you guys? Let me check my setting in OBS. Everything is fine in OBS. So I think
Yeah,
it
I'm
should be.
listening to you too.
Yeah. So people in the chat, there are more than nearly 100 people are. So sound is unclear, says Atharv. So I'm not sure on that. Uh,
On
Anybody
whose end
else?
is that? Yeah.
Anybody else? There's a little buzz with Ashish Bro's mic. It is lagging. Okay, that should not be happening. Let me check. You know, let me try to fix my audio if my audio is making an issue. So I have changed audio. Sudesh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I think people are saying the sound issue. It should not be. Sound is cracking. Devi says no problem. It's cracking. It's my audio. People are saying buzz आवाज आ रही है. I'm not sure because I'm not using any mic. The AC is working. Connection is also fine. I just changed my mic source. So I'm now using my camera's mic. So I think it should be a bit change. Yeah, and I'm really sorry for this, but this is my
Yeah,
normal set, so it should not be issue.
yeah. Someone just said it's better now, so I think we can continue with that.
It's better now. Okay. Yeah, Sudesh, go ahead. Sorry. I was just asking, how's the
Yeah.
feeling in Nepal regarding the game and especially the people you have been talking to?
Yeah, everyone is very happy because this is the first final that Nepal is playing in the South Asian stage, except for the South Asian Games football. So everyone is excited, but at the same time, Abdul Al-Matari's statement after the match that the SAFF Championship final, which was his last match with the Nepalese national team, has kind of gotten into a mixed kind of feeling. So it's people are very excited about the finals, especially it's against India, and everyone wants to lift that SAFF Championship, which you've always mentioned in your stream that it is like the World Cup to the Nepalese people. They want to lift the trophy, but at the same time, with Abdul Al-Batari's announcement, it's kind of a mixed feeling in Nepal right now.
So I just want to ask about the announcement. So I read about it. You also told me the coach have done this in past, announcing his resignation. Is this the time that he's going to leave now finally, or there are chances for Anfa to negotiate? And because qualifiers are just months away now, because you don't want to change your coach. So will there be any negotiation to keep him at least till the next qualifiers for Nepal, at least for Nepalese national team? I think that will give them boost going into the qualifiers if the coach stays.
Yeah, so let me explain the whole scenario, what it is. So Abdul Al-Matari landed in Nepal in April, and with his contract, he is supposed to be in Nepal at least until April 2023. So this is not the time that his contract actually expires. So with what he said in the press conference yesterday, he submitted an official resignation a month ago. And now that Nepal are in the finals, he said that the resignation will only be activated after the SAFF Championship. So he's already resigned and he's going to leave the team after the finals. So that's how it stands right now. I think All Nepal Football Association, ANFA, will definitely try to renegotiate, because this is the first time in a very long time that Nepalese national football team has gathered so much of attention and is showing so much of progress and promise in a sense. So I think negotiations will be done by ANFA's part, but is saying that he has submitted his official resignation and won't be returning back to Nepal after the final, says I think his resignation has already been accepted.
So that's a bad news. That's bad news. Maybe it's Sudesh and as well as Ashish. I'm not using airport for the mic. So mic, I'm using a different mic. So I'm not sure is it YouTube
all right
issue.
So let me switch my mic too then.
Yeah, maybe just switch it to your, because I think I can hear you properly, and there is no,
yeah, I can hear you too.
No noise, and so I'm not sure with this what's the issue. I'm really sorry for everyone to go through it. Crack ho raha hai. So yeah, let me check what kind of sound we're getting. So I can understand there is an issue coming. So it's not on the mic, but something else that I'm not sure why it is coming. So I have to maybe stop the stream and do again, because I just check on YouTube. So there is some issue. Okay, so there is some issue that I can hear on YouTube. Yeah, I know there's a sound problem. So I'm just trying to figure it out how to fix this. Just give me some time, guys. This is nothing. Okay, let me just check, because I even tried the recording, and recording says the sound was okay. Just to make clear, I'm not using my AirPod for the for the mic purpose. I'm using it for for just listening it. But there is some issue, so I think we might need to end this stream. I'm not sure what to do, because I've just restarted the stream also, and at my PC it's also noticing no issues. So So this your sound has gone. Can you? Somebody saying their sound has gone. Can you check it? I don't know what the issue
Yeah,
is.
can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear. Uh,
Yeah,
but we have to make sure there's no issue on YouTube also.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
waiting. I think it's better now on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was someone is saying it was good enough. We were able to hear carry on.
But people using headphone, they will get disturbed.
Yeah,
People
for
not using
sure.
headphone. Maybe we just let me put some -6 and try to remove the filters. Maybe just give me 1 second. I'm just doing some stuff. So just give me guys one
Yeah, better
10
now.
20 second.
Now.
So there will
So
be
there will be
bit more background
background
noise,
noise,
Yeah,
but
but
I think it
I
should
think it
work
should
now.
work now.
yeah.
I'm trying
I'm
to
trying
hear
to
me again.
hear me
Just give me
again.
one
Just give
second.
me 1 second.
Oh, your sound is not synchronizing. Yeah, I told you, like,
It
It
was
was
his
his.
memory. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I know, guys. So I think we will end this stream now. I am not sure to continue it like this. Uh, it's fine. This is very normal setup for me, and of course, I kept YouTube volume on up to listen it again. What was the issue? Now it's perfect. Okay, somehow.
yeah, someone is saying let's resume.
So sorry. I think we have to cut it. The video. We have wasted a lot of time. Thank you guys for staying with us. Where are you at? Sudesh, कहाँ थे हम लोग? I just forget everything now.
Yeah, we were talking about the resignation thing.
Yeah. So I think now let's see. I think it will be great for Nepalese football and South Asian football that he stays in the job and somehow Anfa try to find the solution. And I think that will be great because that will lift the South Asian football if South Asian countries will do well in the Asian Cup qualifiers. Yeah, I think it's fine now. So moving to the next thing, I think let's talk about the journey of the both the nations. I will start
Yeah.
with the India. An Indian journey was kind of a swing type of journey. There was mixed emotions from the fans, from media. There were talks of I also said so many things after India drawn against Sri Lanka. First game, we all gave benefit of doubts, to the team, because of the lack of preparations, and we thought, they might need some matches to get into the rhythm. And I think I talked about this in the last. I was talking to you also that has Nepal
Yeah.
already peaked. India might peak at the later stage. Who is resigning? It's Nepalese coach have resigned, by the way. So for the Indian viewers to get the context, and sorry for all the sound issue. So talking about India journey, I think it was a mixed emotions. I will say first two games, India controlled games but unable to score. They were looking like that even they play for 2 3 days, they will not score the goals. And then came Nepal game, I think, and I think that worked in India favor. Nepal gave lots of respect to India. in terms of their position, in terms of their style. They went for defensive style, and I think that gave Indians confidence, to keep on attacking, and then they finally that got one goal against Nepal, and then came Maldives games, and what atmosphere for the Maldives game. I think salute to the Maldives people. The stadium was buzzing. I think one of the best away game as an Indian fan I have seen in recent time. I have seen India play away in the various venues. We've seen India playing in Thailand, Nepal, in Middle East, lots of countries. But I think this game against Maldives in Maldives, the stadium was buzzing, and I think it was great to see a match live on TV where there was a crowd. Every touch of Maldives players were cheered. And but ultimately, I think India has shown their quality to win that match handsomely and qualify for the final. And I think it's great that even with India's not so good performance, India's finished on the top of the table in this championship, and I think that's tell you about the quality of this Indian team and the quality they have. So I think that's regarding India's journey in the SAFF Championship 2021. So, can you sum up Nepal journey till now and how the final looks like, the final, final step for them to lift the championship?
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite in case of Nepal, isn't it? So we started with 2 wins out of 2 games and stayed at the top of the table for quite long, I have to say. We won against Maldives in the first game. It was not an easy game at all, and Manistangi came off the bench to score a wonder goal, I would say. Then came this Sri Lanka game where we kind of dominated the game but conceded 2 quick goals, and it was 3-2. We held on into the lead and it was a very good performance. Then came the India game, which many people expected Nepal to play as they've been playing in the SAFF Championship, but surprisingly, Nepal adopted a very defensive tactics, and India got the better of Nepal. And who else than Sunil Chetty who would have scored that goal? And then in came the last game where there were twists and turns, where Bangladesh were ready to defend. They scored early and forced Nepal to kind of have the ball and but not get into the crucial spaces. Then Nepal, of course, scored a penalty. Anjan Bista scored a penalty, and with a 1-1 draw, Nepal qualified for the finals. So going into this final with a draw is not the perfect momentum that you would expect your side to go in, but still we've shown signs that we've kind of recovered from the India game. And statistically, I think the game against Bangladesh was the one that Nepal dominated in every single aspect, whether be it passes, shots on target, shots, and everything. So it's kind of a very hopeful scenario when we talk about Nepal's journey so far. But after Ashish asked me this question, have they already peaked? And with 2 wins, starting the tournament with 2 wins and then ending it with a draw, it kind of is a weird trajectory to go into a final. But still, I would take it. This is the first time that Nepal have qualified for a SAFF Championship final, and that too, it's with India.
And then it's final, and the form goes out of the window, when you're playing games
Yeah.
like these, because that's the new day, and you never know for which player steps that on that particular day and do wonders for his own country. So I think that's but tournaments work like that. You have to pick at a right time, and considering that India has been now, they did well to score those goals against Maldives. India first goal, brilliant ball from Brendan. And we will come into the team news side also, because there's a question mark on availability of a couple of Indian players. And what a ball from Brendan for Manveer, and because with so many goals, that ball from Brendan was not talked by enough, because to play that through ball between the defenders, I think that's what Brendan quality is all about. And he should not be playing in the midfield, deep in the midfield. He should be playing in that final third to play those balls, which he played that brilliant assist for Manveer goal. And I think another player which I want to highlight from the games again, Maldives, was Apuya. I think Apuya was man of the match, and I was glad Sunil Chhetri gave him his own man of the match. I think that shows the belief of the team on the 19-year-old kid, and he's not kid anymore. I think he's men in the men game, because he has been now one of the highest paid Indian player. His salaries figures are might if I tell you, it's mind blowing. The amount of money Mumbai City has paid to sign him is also mind blowing for a South Asian footballer in South Asia. So that tells about his own Apuya quality, and I think Apuya finally is showing that he belongs to the international stage also, not just the ISL or the domestic stage. So I think Apuya and Brendan was brilliant in that game. Sunil Chetri has been always brilliant for India. So I think we can't add any more adjective to define Sunil Chetri qualities. I think now it's just that he's again third active goal scorer in the world, and he just did one goal to be second combined with Lionel Messi. And people who watched the last game stream of just before the game, India versus Maldives, I said that Sunil Chetri might score it 78 and 79 goal against Maldives, and then he might go to the final game against Nepal and score the 80th goal. And I think that will be great for as an Indian fans, will not great for the Nepal. So I think great journey for both the countries. A different. I think it will now the journey will be defined by the final game on that day. Which team will raise their game to lift that trophy? I think it's a prestigious trophy in South Asian football. I think great for South Asian overall that we have an India versus Nepal match in Maldives. I'm hoping that a stadium will be filled, not just from India, Nepal fans, from Maldives fans also, because I love the Maldives fans, the way they were cheering up their country. So I think that's what. Talking about Nepal, and I think straight away the memories of 2013 SAFF Championship will come into your mind, right? Because that's
Yeah.
the championship where Nepal defeated India in at home.
Yeah, of course, that was what a championship that was, and any Indian football fans would also cherish that championship. Although India lost against Afghanistan in the final, Nepal started pretty well with a win against Bangladesh, and then against Pakistan, we saw the rise of Bimal Ghatimagar, a 15-year-old boy came off the bench and scored the equalizer against Pakistan that practically helped Nepal to qualify for the next stages. And a win against India in the last group match was totally perfect ending to a very good group stage match. But in the semi-finals, it was quite a scenario where we saw Nepal conceding early against Afghanistan, and then having to attack the whole 80 minutes or so, and then Nepal got a penalty. And it was a similar scenario to what happened yesterday between Nepal and Bangladesh. Nepal got a penalty in the somewhere around the 80th minute, and Rohit Chand stepped up to take it, and he missed it twice. So he got it saved. Nepal were knocked out of their home tournament. Nepal were the favorites, to be honest. That was kind of the golden generation in Nepalese football, as in terms of the individual quality and the experience that the players had. Yesterday too, that was kind of a similar scenario, and I was dreading that a similar situation would repeat. But it didn't. But 2013 was certainly the time where football peaked in Nepal. I could see people coming from 6 hours, 7 hours of bus rides just to get a ticket inside the Dashrath Stadium. And that's when Nepalese national team was actually expected to go into the SAFF Championship and then do something very tangible. After that, if you look at it, 2015 SAFF Championship, Nepalese national team didn't do really well. 2018, it wasn't as convincing as of a performance. And now in 2021, it has always been threaded into, and then they have performed really well this time around.
So people are asking about team news, so don't worry about it. We'll come into the team news when we reach to the particular sections. We have all the latest team news from both the side. And if Nepal, the 2013 memories comes in mind, for Nepalese people, I think for India, it should be now alpha male mentality, because India has played, I think, numerous finals. We have won 7 times, and I think that's what the experience they should use against Nepal to play these finals a lot of times. So India should not feel under a lot of pressure like Nepal will feel. So I think that might play in the favor of the India, because we have somebody like Sunil Chetri who played, if I remember correctly, 21, 2013, 2015 final. So that's 3 final for him. Manveer Singh and many of these, Manveer Singh played 2018 final. So I think. And Pritam Kotal was also part of Indian team, which plays various finals. So I think that will be great for India to use that experience to try to dominate Nepal, because this will be first final for Nepal. They will be under pressure. So India should go early and try to hit Nepal, and when they're just adjusting to the game, try to score that first goal. I think that will change the situation for Indian team and for Nepalese team. There was some question from Nepalese fans. It's regarding that, do you feel that style play of Bangladesh, it is a too little much out of the line to grab an opponent player jersey and force him down? And I'm still not sure. There was a reports of saying that Bangladesh player tried to
Yeah.
manhandle the referee. Also, I've not seen the pictures as of now in the video, but I heard this. So what
I can
you
explain that
talk
scenario,
about it?
what happened. Yeah. So if you're not informed about this, Anisur Rahman Zico, who is Bangladesh's first choice goalkeeper, he got a red
Yeah,
card.
that I saw in the game.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it was, you could sense that it was kind of a physical game battle between both the sides. I think you could also sense that Bangladesh were absolutely playing it very physical and stuff. Then the moment the final whistle went off, all the Bangladeshi players, led by Topu Burman, who is a very experienced campaigner in Bangladeshi side, went on and had a verbal spat with the referee, and even the crowd tried to jump off the barricades and then come into the pitch. It was that kind of a heated moment after the final whistle. So I think that's what people are talking about. In general, the clash was very, very, very physical, and we expected that to happen from the very first moment. I could see the Bangladeshi central defender got a yellow card in just 1 minute and 35 seconds after the kickoff. So it was always meant to be that way, but I didn't expect that to be that intense after the final whistle. And it was kind of not so good sight to see players going on and then doing those kind of things to referees and the match officials. It was a heated match, we accept that, but still, it was not a very good sight as a football lover to see players protesting the referee, and especially in that fashion that Bangladeshi players did.
Yeah. So this, I think some of people in the chat have joined the late. Can you clear the picture on the Nepalese head coach? He had resigned. People are asking why he has resigned.
Yeah,
Can
all
you
right.
just clear
So
out one more
yeah,
time?
I'll
Sorry.
just elaborate something that I've been telling people from Khel now and regarding the press conference and stuff. So basically, what happened is Abdul Al Matari has not been very pleased with the Nepalese media ever since he landed for the first time in Nepal, and with the recent conclusion of the recent India-Nepal match, some media, I repeat, only some media reported that it could be a potential match fixing for going for such a negative tactics and stuff. So Abdul Al Mutairi came to the press conference and said, I have an 11-year-old boy who asked me whether I fixed the match or not. What am I supposed to say? Where he basically said we are coaches, not slaves, and we're also humans. We have families and we also face pressures. So that was the whole scenario. And Abdul Al Matari's tenure in Nepal has not been very smooth. He has had conflicts within the ANFA officials and with the media personnel as well. And he has already informally resigned twice in his Facebook. So this time around, after the match against Bangladesh, he went to the press conference and said, "Okay, this SAFF Championship final will be my last game as a Nepalese national team head coach because I'm not gonna come back to Nepal." And that's what basically happened. And then he lashed on to the press and stuff, the Nepalese media and stuff. So that's the broader picture. So this time, with what he has said, he's already submitted a letter a month ago, and the resignation will be activated after the SAFF Championship final. So as things stand, Abdul Al Mutairi will leave Nepal after the SAFF Championship final, no matter what happens.
This is a feel sometimes, people who don't understand football, they try to give the judgment, on the things like that match was fixed for the negative tactics. They don't understand Nepal just needed a draw in last two games, and for a coach point of view, and considering they're playing India, who Nepal has, I think, beaten just twice in their history.
Yeah.
I think of course, I was also a bit surprised with the tactics. They never tried to attack. But as I was telling in that post-match video, it's not easy to switch your team tactics during the game. If you're coming with a defensive tactics from pre-match, and when your team is under a lot of pressure, it's not easy for a coach from outside. It's not you playing Football Manager or EA Sports FIFA. Just you will go to the setting and change the tactics to from defensive to attacking, because the mindset of the player are prepared accordingly. And I think it's not easy during the game to switch tactics. And we have seen this. I was giving that day an example of even this world-class team of World Cup defending champion France versus Belgium. If you remember the first half against Belgium, France was playing defensive football. and they're not able to change it throughout the first half. When the halftime break happened, that's the time when France changed their tactics, came back again with a different mindset, different tactics, and they did well and won the match. So I think people need to understand it's not easy. Our player are in South Asian player are not exposed to the level of the competitive matches as the France player or as the Belgium player. So I think it's not easy to switch tactics during the game. So I think it's very immature on the part of the media to do that, especially when the championship is going on. And I was also, for the Steam part, I was also saying that we can't ask him to resign or leave during the championship. Let's wait till the championship to get over and then see what happened. So I think this is very bad because this means Nepal will might go to the domestic coach again. They might think that who they need to bring. I was reading they might bring a Spanish coach, but you guys need to understand. Even a world-class coach can't come to our part of the world and do well because it's not easy. The resources, the structure of our football is not that simple that even you bring Jose Mourinho to Nepal or India and he will start winning games. It's not that simple. You will need coaches who are fighters who understand that they have a limited resources and they have to work with these limited resources. So I think this is very bad because I really want to see coach like him to be part of the South Asian football because that will push South Asian football to the next level. So I hope that he stays, and that will be good for Nepal and Nepalese football. I think let's hope that he stays. So maybe in the final it might change. Now let's come to the team news because lots of people are asking about team news. Let's start with Nepal first. What's the team news from Nepali side? Because there are lots of updates from Indian side for sure.
Yeah, from Nepal side as well, there are lots of updates. So let's start with the midfield. So what happened was when Nepal released their lineup against Bangladesh, and during the pre-match warm-up that happens typically half an hour before the kickoff, Pujan Uperkoti, who essentially plays as a defensive midfielder, got injured. So at the very last moment, Nepal had to switch Pujan Uperkoti with Vishal Rai, and then it happened, and then they went out to the pitch. So it's still not sure whether Pujan will play in the final or not. The conclusive reports have not yet come, but he's in doubt for the finals. And let me remind you, after Al Mutari has come to Nepal, Uperkoti has played nearly all of the games that Nepal has played, whether it be it official qualifiers or even friendlies. So he's an integral part of the squad. And another very big news is that Anjan Bista is going to miss the finals. So after 2 yellow cards that he conceded during the course of the group stages, he will not be available for the finals. And he was the scorer of the penalty that took Nepal to their first ever finals against Bangladesh, and he has been very crucial. And so that's the team news from Nepal. Anjan Bista to miss the finals for sure, and Pujan Uperkoti is still in doubt.
So I think I have to confirm this. I'm not sure. So I will check in Maldives that yellow cards in group stage will be carried to final or not, because that changes in UEFA model. I'm not sure what they have done in South Asian football. So I have to confirm this with the local committee in Maldives that is it true. From India side, there is no confusion. I think our coach is suspended. He's red carded, so he's not going to be there in the dugout for sure. That's one thing. Another thing is Farooq Chaudhary is already out. He has a ACL in his knee. Regarding Brendan Fernandez, Brendan is injured, but his injury is not that serious. What I've told from very close source to the team that he has a problem in his thigh, and it was not a physical contact that generated that problem. He felt something in his thigh, and he did smartly. I think he knew that he felt something in his thigh. India was winning, and straight away called the dugout that he want to come out. At this stage, I'm told the scan reports are still awaited for Brendan, but team might not risk it because there's a long season coming up for him in ISL and then the qualifiers for India also. So his injury is not that serious as it was looking. Many people are saying it's a similar kind of injury like Farooq. No, it is not a knee injury. It's a thigh injury. And I think he felt something in his thigh, so that's why he just came out. It's great that he didn't push himself, because I'm still not sure where the Farooq got the knee injury, and how can he play the whole game after getting that injury. So Brandon is injured. Other thing is Subhashis Bose is suspended. He got 2 yellows, so that's one red. So he's suspended for the final. Other than that, I think Igor Stimac, Brendan, Farooq Chaudhary, there are some niggles with the Indian team because they played back-to-back games. If you remember, India started. India didn't play in the match day one. Since then, they have been playing regularly. I think Nepal got one match day rest compared to India, but Nepal started at the match day one. So that's balance out. But there are some niggles with the Indian players which they are trying to manage going to the game. We are still 48 hours away from the kickoff, so I think those niggles will be manageable by the physio and the doctors of the team. I think other than these three individuals, Agos Timac, Farooq Chaudhary, Brendan Fernandez, and Subhashis Bose, four individual. India should ideally have their all other players available, but I think worried part for India is the defense now. That how will they manage that defense? Because in the last game against Maldives, we have to sub off Mandarao Desai, at 30th minute mark because four of our all of our defenders were got the yellow card, and they were just away from the that another yellow card to get red carded, which eventually happened with Subhashis Bose in the end of the match. And we don't have any defenders in the bench. That's the big issue here. Only another defender we have is a Saritan Fernandez. So I think Agos Timac have to do something. I think he might play Sana there. But let's see. We'll come into the predicted 11 part. Now, let me ask you, and I will tell you my part is which Indian player you are worried about going into this game, and are you pleased that Brendan is not playing for India or he might not play for India?
Yeah, so first things first, the player that I'm most worried about in the Indian setup, as you might have guessed it, is Sunil Chhetri because of obvious reasons. I guess he has scored, if I'm not mistaken, 7 goals against Nepal now, including the friendlies and stuff. So yeah, of course, it's got to be Sunil Chhetri who has to be nullified by the Nepalese defense. And in the last match as well, we only did one significant error in defense, and that was the occasion where Sunil Chhetri actually scored in the second half. So it's going to be a tussle between two centre backs and Sunil Chhetri, and especially if Pujan Upakoti does not play, Rohit Chand is going to be shifted into the midfield. And with Rohit Chand in midfield, we will have Dinesh Rajbangshi and Ananta Tamang in the central defending positions. And in this situation, you will always expect someone like Rohit Chand to go for Sunil Chhetri because of the experience that he has and the last man tackles that he can master. So it's going to be a tricky situation that makes Sunil Chhetri even more dangerous if he is not already. Then with Brendan Fernandez update, this is my own personal observation, but Nepal have been quite successful in nullifying Brendan Fernandez in the last 3 matches that they have played against India. The first match, Brendan had to drop really deep, and then he didn't have that much of an impact in the whole match. He had to work very hard. I would not entirely blame it up on Brendan, and I don't think he was bad at all. He was doing a job, but it was kind of a tactical battle that got him in towards the corner. And in the last match as well, during the first 20 minutes when India tried to progress centrally, they were unable to do that. And Brendan Fernandez was robbed off the ball perhaps 3 or 4 times in the first 20 minutes itself. So Brendan Fernandez being an integral part of Indian squad, if he plays in that number 10 position and if he gets the freedom, he's a very dangerous player. And I know that. But with Nepal, he's not been particularly that impressive. So although he is a player that can make much of a difference, but I think with what intent that India will go against Nepal, I think it's going to be a normal match.
Yeah, I think India has to decide that who they need to play on the left side of that 4-man midfield. Should they go for somebody like Udanta or Liston, or they bring like replacement in form of Khel, who has not played much for India in recent time, but Khel is the playmaker which I think Indian fans and Kerala fans think about. So I think let's see. I think what they do with it. I will come into the predicted line. So there is some question. Rupesh says, "Hey Negi, as an Indian, what do you think about Nepal's strategy against India in the final? If you were to ever beat India, I think if I were to beat India, I will see the Indian defense. It's weak. Indian midfield and Indian attack is good quality, but I think I'm worried about the Indian defense as an Indian. So as a Nepalese, I think they should play 4-3-3 and put those 3 players in the Indian defense against Indian 4 defenders. I think, and with the pace of Nepalese player, with India doesn't have Subhashis Bose, they might play Sana, they might play Pritam in centre back department. I'm still not sure, Mandara Desai looks suspect as a left back. So that their defenders are not defenders; they are full backs playing as the defenders. So I think that will be my approach if I'm a coach of Nepal or a player of Nepal. Put those three forwards against Indian defenders, and run on those Indian defenders whenever you get the chance. Maldives did something similar. People are saying referee were biased, you can say, but India got lots of yellow card because of making lots of bad tackles. I think while making tackles, you need to be smart, and of course, referee was under pressure because of the crowd supporting Maldives. So I think he's shown some unnecessary yellow card. But as a Indian, I'm worried about my defense, and I think that should be Nepal's strategy going into the final. And Nepal doesn't have anything to lose here. It's not like that this is group stage game. This is a final game. And they should come all gun blazing, and that will give us a good game if there is an end-to-end football. I don't want to see India attacking for 90 minutes, and then maybe Nepal just doing counter-attack. I think both teams should try to play attacking football because whole South Asia will be watching. So that will be my strategy if Nepal needs to do well in the final. Do you think something very similar, Sudesh?
Yeah, I think something very similar, and I would like to go back to the first friendlies that we saw in Kathmandu. It was kind of an evened out game. Nepal was attacking as well, and India were trying to kind of contain the Nepalese attack. And in turn, India was also attacking whenever they got their chances. So it was a very entertaining match from a football fan's perspective, but it was a battle of two sides that were equally functioning on the day. So I think that should be the intent. And frankly speaking, the latest game against India that we lost, that was a show of India just putting the balls inside the box and then Nepal trying to defend and then eventually losing it in the midfield again, and the sequence just kept on repeating with long balls and stuff. I don't want to see that. The first friendly and the friendly after that, where Nepal lost 2-1, those were perfect examples of how these sides can go head to head and not possess some kind of a boring football. So I would also agree on that point that Nepal have nothing to lose here. They have already created history, and if they succeed to kind of push themselves and perhaps, who knows, grind out a win, it will be even more historic. So it should be completely opposite of what they did in the group stage. They should go out all guns blazing with three forwards ahead, as you said. So I would like to see that definitely. And considering what you said about injuries and fullbacks playing as centre back, I would do that if I was in Al-Batari's shoes.
Akshay asked, is there any provision to call another player to replace injured players? There is no provision now because we're in the middle of the championship. And unlike cricket, where there's a reserve players traveling with the team, I'm not sure there's any reserve player traveling with the Indian team. So there is no provision to replace those injured players. I think football in Euros, there was something, a player on standby. But I think in SAFF Championship, there is no player on standby. So I think India have to go what they have, and Nepal have their own injury concern and suspension also. Just like India. So I think they will going to miss Anjan Vista. So will India miss Ashish Bose? We have to see that. Now coming to the predicted lineup, I think finally I can say that looks like Igor Stimac has found his formation and he's found his playing 11. Of course, now those two players of those playing 11 are not available now for him. So that will give him chance to trust his other players and how much he can trust them to be in the similar type of the formation and style he wants to play. Of course, he wants to keep the ball, but he also wants to go direct whenever there's opportunity to go direct, So that's why Brendan play those long balls. And I think, but eventually the best bits of Brendan action came in the SAFF Championship when he played that through ball to Manveer Singh in the final third. So I think that's the problem. People are asking Sunil Chhetri is injured or not. Sunil Chhetri is not injured. There's some niggles with the Indian players. Niggles just like because you're playing these physical games. And what I'm told, there are 48 hours still remaining for the game. I think they will be able to adjust accordingly for the game. What I'm told, the injuries for India's Farooq and Brendan at this stage. Brendan's scan report is still awaited, so let's see how that goes. Somebody asked, India played when they moved to 4-2-3-1 after scoring second goal, isn't it? Yeah, India kept on changing their style, their formation, in the last game against Maldives. So I think now with the suspension, I think India will go to 4-4-2. Just like they have done till now, whenever CMAC wants to win the game. Only thing is Gurpreet will start in goal. I think here is the catch. Will he start Pritam Kotal as a centre back? I don't think so. I think he'll go with Pritam Kotal. Even if I want to with Saritan Fernandez, he will go with the Pritam Kotal. Sana and Rahul Beke as centre back. We don't have any options here. We are already heavily because of not selecting any centre backs in the team. So I think Saritan might come for Pritam Kotal, but I think he will start with Pritam Kotal, with Sana and Rahul Beke as a defenders, and Mandarao Desai as a left back. We don't have any option as a left back because our second option as a left back was the Subhashish Bose. He's suspended. And then other option is to play Saritan Fernandez, who's a right back by nature, and then play him as a false inverted left back. I think it will be risky to do it in a final. In midfield, look like that his first two choice midfield are Apuya and Suresh. I think Suresh has that engine in him which Apuya needs next to him, which gives Apuya space and time to boss that midfield. So I think these two will be the India's midfield. I think here is the now another big call which he needs to make. Yasir will start on the right wing. Who will start on the left wing? So there people are saying Ruturaj saying Thapa. There is option to play Udanta. There is option to play Liston. But I think what role Brendan has played for Stimac in last few games, I think best suited person for him is Sahel. But will he trust Sahel defensively in this game, considering this is a final game? So I think this is the biggest call he needs to make. This is the bigger call than selecting Pritam over Saritan or selecting Sana over Pritam as a centre back. I think he needs to select his left winger very carefully. And will he do that by selecting, say, Liston, who has played in this tournament, or Udanta, who's played in tournament in that position, or give chance to like somebody like Sahel, who is a similar kind of a player to Brendan, but of course didn't have a similar kind of end product in terms of numbers in last few years as compared to Brendan. So I think that's the call he need to take as a coach. And I think this is a bigger call than the defense for him. That who should he play? Should he play Udanta? Should he play Liston? Or should he play Sahel? And up front, of course, I think there will be Manveer Singh and Sunil Chhetri playing for India. And only options we have is Rahim Ali, who can come, and I think he will remain on the bench. Or maybe he can change his formation, as somebody is saying India should go 3-5-2. India can play Sana, Pritam Kotal, and Subhashish Bose as a 3 centre back, then play Saritan Fernandez. Then still you need that left wing back. Who's the left wing back? Udanta, or you can play Mohammad Yasir, who's a left-footed guy on that left wing back role, and then you play your three midfielders in between, and then 2 forwards up front. 3 midfielders I think can be Thapa, Apuya, and Suresh, or you can put Sahel also in that Thapa's role, and up front you can have Manveer Sunil. So I think this is the thing with India right now. Should they go with the formation which they worked against Nepal and Maldives, by just changing the personnel in form of Sahel in place of Brendan, or Udanta in place of Brendan, or Liston in place of Brendan, or they change the formation? I think changing the formation will be risky for India at this time. So I think. I said Subhash is a 3rd centre back. It should be Rahul Beke. So I'm sorry. So I think that's for India. So what's Nepal predicted lineup looks like, and what do you think they should do?
Yeah, I think they should switch back to 4-3-3 yet again, because I think with the resources that they have, they can easily use a 4-3-3 setup and then do really well at attacking, which they didn't do good against India in the past meeting. So I would pick, of course, Kiran Kumar Limbu, our captain, as the goalkeeper. He's been really well during this tournament, making some good saves, and he's not showed those glimpses of errors in this tournament, which is thankfully for the benefit of Nepal, really is turning out to be really good. And now I would start Gautam Shrestha as a right back. He's been really well. And then for 2 centre backs, I would pick Ananta Tamang and Dinesh Rajavangshi, and I will explain it why later on. And for the left back, although Sujal Shrestha started the game against Bangladesh, I would put Suman Aryal in place of Sujal Shrestha. Although Sujal is a bit more experienced and brings in way more on-the-ball characteristics and distribution, I think Suman Aryal is the one who drives the ball forward and makes those overlapping runs. Both Gautam and Suman are the engines of this team from the wide side. So I would see Suman Aryal starting ahead of Sujal Shrestha yet again. And for the 3-man midfield, I would choose Rohit Chand. And for this very reason, I chose Dinesh Rajavangshi and Ananta Tamang as defenders. If Bhujan Upperkoti does not play and is not fit for the finals, Rohit Chand needs to be there in the midfield, and we saw the glimpses of him playing in midfield against Bangladesh and actually getting out as the man of the match. So I would choose Rohit Chand and then Tej Tamang, of course, in the midfield. And interestingly, I would put Suman Lama in the midfield this time around. He's an attacking midfielder and is a profile that Abdullah Al-Matairi is understood to be valuing about, and really he really likes him as a midfielder. And then for the front three, since Anjan Bista is suspended for the finals, I would pick Manish Tangi, Navjot Shrestha, and 17-year-old Ais Kalan starting in the front three. So it's going to be a 4-3-3 with two players that have really made the impact coming off from the bench. So it's going to be Manish Tangi from the left, and then Ais Kalan coming in from the right, supporting Navjot Shrestha.
Yep. So let me go to the comment section. Some people are asking my views on the under-23 team selections. If you have not, if you want to know about it, there is another stream which took place yesterday on the channel, which was India versus Maldives game review. So you guys can go to that channel, that video, sorry, and listen my thoughts about under-23 team. And I talked about the players who not got called up. So let's stick that topic there only. Yeah. So Indian people are confused that who should they? Of course, many are saying Sahel should play, and that's a big call up, because that position as a left wide playmaker is important, because your wide playmaker are the people who are going to players who are going to create goals for you. So I think. Yes, Sunil Chhetri gave his man of the match to Apuya. It's a right news, and that's a great gesture. I really felt that Apuya was the man of the match for me also. And I was chatting with somebody during the game regarding that. What a game Apuya had. I think this is the game where this shows that what kind of qualities he can give to the national team. So I think now coming into I have just one question. Anjan Bista is suspended. Do you think that Nepal have enough in them or in their forward player to score goals?
I mean, with or without Anjan Bista, let's be honest, Nepal have been struggling with goals this tournament. When I say goals, they've been scoring a lot lately, but provided that the chances that they get, they have not been as clinical as they should have been. And Abdul Al-Mutair has also admitted this after the friendlies against India back in September. He said these players were taught to defend and taught not to lose. And in these kind of 2 or 3 months, I cannot magically turn them up into world-class finishers. So with Anjan Bista, it is a security that he can finish those last balls and then get behind defenses and get himself in a position where he can get into those one versus one situations. Without him, I think it's going to be a bit more difficult, especially with two inexperienced forwards in the lineup who have shown great glimpses of maturity, but still it's a final and nerves will be getting on with them. And a special thing that I would like to mention is Navjot Shrestha's kind of having a very shaky tournament this time around. He has not been as clinical in front of the goal, and he has not finished his chances that he could have finished, and he used to finish those when Nepal defeated India Nepal under 20 defeated India in a final back in 2018 and stuff. So I think if Navjot gets his scoring boots on, which is very unlikely provided that it's just one game and he's not had a very good tournament, it shouldn't be much of a problem. But still, I think Nepal are still lacking in that department, and especially against an Indian defense and Gurpreet Singh Sandhu on goal, it's always going to be difficult.
People who are joining us late, Brandon Fernandez has a thigh injury, which I just revealed a bit earlier, and scan reports are still awaited, and looks like that it's not a serious injury. He felt something in his thigh and looks like that he might miss the final. Sudesh?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know why.
I think I have my connection, so apologize from my side. I don't know what's happening today. So today's been the very weird live stream for us. So
Yeah.
I think we should be back now. Yeah. Sorry guys, referee wasn't biased, so I forget what I was saying. Yeah, so I was talking about comment from Nepal fan that Nepal should try to give their best. I think this is the what we want to see. Both the team play good football and may hope that best team win the game. So let's hope for that. Other than that, do you think referee was biased? I think referees are always under pressure when you're playing up in front of the home fans. We have seen this biasness call from Afghanistan fans in 2011 championship when India Afghanistan played in the final, and they also felt the referee's decision was biased towards home team. I think this is very similar. It's happened a lot in Asian football. Wherever the home team is playing in front of the crowd, referees give some soft decision in the favor of the home team. But saying that, Indian defender doesn't help themselves. The tackles they made was some silly tackles. I think the penalty was very close call. So you can't say that that it was totally biased decision from the referee side. Uh, uh, Sandesh asked, I'm not sure if Sandesh is Nepal. I think it's Nepali. What after Al Mutari says, Sudesh, what do you think? Who can be the coach, or what kind of the coach Nepal needs after Al Mutari?
Honestly, if you ask me what next after Al Mutairi, I think my answer and Anfa's answer would be the same. We don't know. So the federation has not been run as it should be in Nepal for quite a couple of years, or even for 10 years now. And Almatai was also not expected, like brought in with a plan. He just came in Nepal as a part of the Nepal QFA deal, and they didn't know until the last minute whether this would turn out to be good or not. Fortunately for Nepalese fans and for the Nepalese football fraternity, it turned out well, and this tenure has reaped some benefits for them. But after this, I don't think Anfa has a solid answer to anything, because they have just been clinging on to Almaty, and then kind of trying to get as many things as they can out of him. So if you ask me what should be the plan after this, would be to build this team up. He's given you a team of 21 years old and with an average age of 22. You can always work with these guys and settle them into a team that can have its own identity and that can perhaps achieve greater heights in the future. But I don't think that's in the plans of Anfa just as yet. And I think the preparations will only get into proceedings when the next tournament will be approaching and the team will actually need a coach, and then they will go and start up a new coach. I don't see a concrete kind of answer from Anfa, neither you can expect a concrete answer from me, because honestly both of us don't even know where Nepali football heads after Al Mutairi.
Sandeep Kandel says for Nepal will win this match, as I am Sunil Chhetri fan. Sunil Chhetri alone cannot win the final. There should be a teamwork which India lacks. I agree and I disagree. Yes, India lacks the teamwork at this stage, but in the last game, if you see the game against Maldives, Manvi scored the first goal. Of course, then Chhetri scored 2 more goals. But Chhetri is India's the goal scorer. So the majority of our good football goes through him. So eventually he has to score the goals. So I know if Nepal can keep Chhetri out, I think this will become an even game for both the teams. And so, but if you put 2 players on Chhetri, Manveer Singh is not a bad player. That you leave him alone, he can hurt you, and that's what he did against Maldives. So I think it's a dilemma for the Nepalese coaching staff and Nepalese player. Should they go very hard on Sunil Chhetri? There was some tackles on Sunil Chhetri against Maldives. He was looking physically tired, by the way. You can see on his face that he's tired after playing. So I think he tried his best in all the games India played, even against Bangladesh, even against Sri Lanka. He was the one who was driving the team forward. I think, and let's see how Sunil Chhetri's physical fitness going into this match. But I think knowing Chhetri, he's very smart. He's very smart managing his fitness, managing his stamina. So don't worry. I think even if this game goes to till 120th minute, I have all confidence Sunil Chhetri be there on the 119 minute in the extra time to score the winner, because that's how he managed himself very well. And in recent time he has changed his routine, his diet. He's now totally on a proper diet. And I was there in one event with he was doing with the kids of the academy. He said, I do only 2 things: I eat, I sleep, and I play football or train football. That's it. Said remaining things I give to my family to take care of. My priority is to eat good and sleep very well. I sleep a lot, and then remaining time I train and play football. I think that's what tell about him, that what kind of mentality he has, and he is not into the other things which new generation are into nowadays. So I think that's tell about him, that he will manage himself very well. And it's Nepal dilemma, that should they man mark Sunil Chhetri and say keeps Manveer Singh free, I think it might backfire, and it has done in past. So I think it's a mixed call for Nepal to do it. What they should do with Sunil Chetri. The header
Yeah,
Sunil Chetri
I have a
scored both.
question for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question for you. So, since Igor Stimac is not going to be on the sidelines, if you have this information, who will be on the sidelines? I guess presumably it's going to be the assistant coach. Who is the assistant coach, and how do you think
So
it will play out?
assistant coach is Venkatesh. Officially, he's the first assistant coach, Indian international. So he came into the press conference after the game yesterday. Also, there are some foreign staff which Agos have. I have, because the staff have changed in recent time. So I'm not sure that which of the foreign staff is the is also the coach or not the trainer. But I think all the calls will be made by Agos from outside. We have seen this with Barcelona. If you
Yeah.
remember, recently Koeman got suspended and he was on the stand and he was, calling his. And we saw that video of Pedri also. I think you support Barcelona when he was. I think it was Pedri or Jordi Alba. When
Yeah.
he was telling Jordi Alba that you sit down, you're not going in, and its call came from the top. So I think
Yeah.
we'll see something of the similar stuff. The person who was, the person who was yesterday, people saw on that match, the long hair, is the fitness coach of the Indian team. So I think that's what I'm told. So I'm not sure that is he actually the coach, but I think it will be the Venkatesh. He's an Indian international. He has been assistant to Stephen. Now he's assistant to Igor Stimac. He also coached Indian Arrows in I League. So it's not that he's too naive going into this. He knows that how to manage the team. But let's see. I think it will be Igor Stimac calls. Even whoever is standing on the sideline. Maybe I'm wrong, but I noticed that Indian team is mostly depend and strong on the right wing. It might be their weakness. You can say that because. But because on the left wing we playing Brandon, who was not a left winger, he's playing as a number 10 coming inside. So you can also say that left wing is also not strong. But let's see. I think how this goes. Tactical coach Isaac Doru was sacked, but he was present in the previous match. Isaac Doru was not a tactical coach. He was a technical director of India, and I think he was not there in the stand. He was somebody else. You have been got confused. The other person with long hair ranting the third official. And that was a good moment, when he was just making sure to the third official, telling that this is not done. Show me also yellow card. So I think he eventually got the yellow card. I think if I remember correctly, and that's a funny moment if you ask me. And I think I'm still not sure why Agostina got 2 yellow cards. I think he was coming out of his zone. The dedicated zone, but that's what managers do all over the world. It's not something which he had done. So I feel pretty bad for Igor Stimac got suspended. So let's see.
Yeah.
Regarding, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, Igor Stimac getting a red card created pretty much a big ripple in the Nepalese media as well. Like, people were happy about, they were like, yeah, he celebrated against our coach. Now he gets a red card and he won't be in the final. Like, that kind of a sentiment was present in the Nepalese media, which was also funny to see.
So I think Brendan has felt something in his thigh. The scan report are still awaited. Jackie, and at this moment looks unlikely that he will be in the final. But let's see, still have 48 hours to go. My prediction on playing 11 I already predicted, Mayank. So I will quickly revise for you again. Gurpreet on goal, and I think this is the predicted 11, not the 11 I'm picking up. Gurpreet on goal. Pritam Kotal is a right back. Sana and Rahul Beke is a centre back. Mandaro this as a left back. We don't have any options there. Then in midfield, we will have Apuya and Suresh. On right, we have Mohammad Yasir. Up front, we'll have Sunil Chetri and Manveer Singh. Only question mark is on the left wing. Who will Igor Stimac pick? Will he pick someone like Sahel, who's like a like-to-like replacement of Brendan? Or will he pick Udanta or Liston? I think he might go with Udanta or Liston because Sahel has not played much. But Sahel is not a bad pick if he pick that, Raj Singh, भाई आज reply नहीं देगो क्या? Raj आपने क्या बोला है भाई? यार आपका कमेंट तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है. स्क्रॉल डाउन टिल टॉप. आप दोबारा कमेंट कीजिए राज, मैं पक्का रिप्लाई दूंगा. Is there any rule that national team assistant coach should be Indian? There is no rule like that national team assistant coach should be Indian. Most likely why they do it because the Indian coach will have a more knowledge of the Indian players compared to the foreigner coming from say Europe. So that's why they keep it. Stimac walked like a villain after the match. So that's funny. We need player who can play zone 14. So I'm not sure what do you know zone 14 there. Nepal coach also said about Indian coach. Then too, we never make fun of Nepal. I think it's not making fun. We have people from both sides of the border. I've said it before in this channel. I will say again. Your choice, Manveer or Sahel on that position. I think I will go with Manveer at this stage because you have to stick to him towards whole tournament as a forward. I'm talking about forward, not only left midfield position, because Manveer played whole tournament. So I think it will be not feasible for India to change this now after Manveer score in the last game also. मेरा भी reply दीजिए. Updates on under 22 ISL. The last update was likely to start in Jan or Feb. So that's the last update I have. I have no update since then. Brendan Fernandez injury, I've already give injury update on Indian team. Jonathan Farooq is out. Brendan is most likely out. Subhash is both suspended. Igos Team X suspended. So these are the 4 team news we have at this moment. If Sunil comes to play in second half, then whom do you think as a striker? Sunil should play as a forward. I think the starting player. I'm not saying he will come in the second half. I think the only position is question by the left midfielder for me. So let's see who he start. When will India qualify for World Cup? My grandfather wants India to watch World Cup team to play before. I think only way at this stage to see the India hosting the World Cup. I'm not sure India will qualify for next 10-15 years the way we are going at this time. And sorry for being negative, but that's how we are. Why Nemil not got selected? I think surprised with the Nemil selection. My views on Ayush Gailan. Sudesh, I've been telling about Ayush Gailan for a while now, and I really like youngsters coming through. And I remember I think Bimal Gati Magar, Anjan Bista, these guys coming together. In Nepalese youth team. So I think Ayush looks like another good Nepal footballer coming up. So let's see how he handles the pressure of final and be that the main man in the attack now. Will he be the main man in the attack, or you will see the Manish and other guys playing that role of leader in the attack, which Sunil Chhetri is playing for India?
Yeah, I don't see him being like the main target man in the Nepalese attack because we still have someone like Bimal Magar yet to come in the side in the future.
No, I'm talking about this game in the final, Sudesh.
Talking about the game, I think it's going to be Manish Tangi that will trouble the defenders much because of the stylistical differences that they have in terms of how they approach the defense and get into the balls. Ayush Gailan is more of a right winger who likes to cut back and get balls just in and around the box and then convert them into something meaningful. Whereas Manish Tangi is someone who you'd expect to make those runs off the ball and then get those balls behind the defenses and go forward. So I think all eyes will be on Manish Tangi, especially after Anjan Bista's suspension from the finals.
With this performance, Nepal should need a good league, which will bring consistency for them, says Krishnan Prasad. I totally agree, and I've touched upon this. Sandesh asked, what happened to Pujan Aprakorti last game, by the way? Sandesh, Sudesh, what you can tell about that?
So the only news that has come out from the Nepalese camp is that he was injured during the pre-match warm-up, which was done after the lineups were announced. So keep this in mind that Pujan Aprakorti was in the lineup against Bangladesh. So the only recent update that we got from the Nepalese camp is that he was injured in the warm-up. No extent of what it was and how severe it is, just that he was injured and he missed the match.
Is position-based football mixed with flank attacks working for India? I think that's the way we should play at the senior level because we can't change our totally playing style at the senior level. A playing style like position-based football should be changed at the youth level and then hope those players when graduated to the senior team, they start playing that football. I think India need to mix it up in between. I think which Igos Team understands now. That's why he have switched to the 4-4-2 formation, to get the similar results. We need proper Indian centre back playing in the ISL. Try of Bose, BK, and Pritam are boring. Physical and discipline are good, but no technical awareness. I think that will change after this ISL. India win 90%, draw 5%. Nepal win 5%. So let's come to the prediction then. Sudesh, will you predict in the percentage just like Nepalese coach, or you will give a proper score line going to the final match?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm emotional about this final because it's our first final in the SAFF Championship. And despite having someone as good as Graham Roberts in the side during the 2011 SAFF Championship, we couldn't make it to the final back then, but this time we finally made it. So I would not predict this entirely in terms of percentages and stuff, but I see this game going into extra time and perhaps Nepal winning this. So it's an entirely biased comment, but still, I want to see Nepal win this game. But practically speaking, if I have to put it numbers wise, it's a 60-40 between India and Nepal, provided that Nepal start with an attacking formation. So it's 60-40 with India still being a team that is individually better than the Nepalese side, or perhaps as a unit as well. But still, it's the finals, and I want to see Nepal win. So I would go for something like a 1-0 after a very tight match.
Apuya CDM or scam from your POV? I think Apuya is CDM, so he's not a cam for sure. His physical body and technique is there to play as a number 6 or number 8. He can be number 8, but I think he's suited best as a number 6. Will under 23 play any friendly? They're not playing any friendly. They're straight going to play in the qualifiers. Please ask when India will. Okay, I lost that. India 2-0 Nepal, says Udesh Roni. Good team Nepal. Congratulations Nepal team and fans, says Nikhil. That's I've taken. So now comes my prediction, and now you have taken that extra time away from me. I was thinking to predict something like extra time or penalties. Now, as you already predicted that, I will go with something else. I think there will be goals in this game, unlike the previous games, friendlies, and the last game. I'm not sure of Nepal quality to finish chances, but Nepal will create chances for sure. And India will likely to score more than 2 goals, 3-1, I think, for India. I'm not sure that Nepal has that ability in their forward line to finish chances, like India have. Even Sunil Chhetri, Manveer Singh missed some open chances, but they know how to score goals. And I have a feeling this from last week only. I'm telling you, India has not peaked, and Nepal has already kind of played like they peaked. So I think let's see. I think 3-1 Nepal, and I predicted this in the last game against Maldives in the video that Sunil Chhetri scoring that 80th goal to go equal to the Lionel Messi 80th international goal to be the second active international goal scorer in world football, and he might score 81st also to become all right second, just behind and not a bad company for a South Asian player to be there. I think, and this became a headline a lot. And I've seen Indian fans, European who follow European football, they say usually Sunil Chhetri to yaar Nepal Bangladesh के against ही गोल मार रहा है. वो Ronaldo and Messi, they play against top teams. But I have today, let me say about this. It's not that Sunil Chhetri fault that he's playing against Nepal Bangladesh. Ronaldo also play against Luxembourg, these kind of matches, and he scored goals against them. Similar with Messi playing in when he plays in South America, he plays not against the top teams. That's one thing. Another thing is Sunil Chhetri is being Indian, where football is not priority for many government and the social all our people. He doing this, going to score 79 goal for his country. It's not a joke. Considering Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi got the best facilities since they are kids. So I think you have to give credit for Sunil Chhetri for scoring the 79 goals, playing for India for 16 years, even with the difficulties, the kind of structure of football we have in our part of the world. So I think that respect, and I have seen this Indian people disrespecting him for the fact when world media, especially, I've seen covers the active goal scorer list, and they put Sunil Chhetri there, and they feel that why Sunil Chhetri is doing, but Sunil Chhetri doing with Ronaldo and Messi because he deserved to be there. That's FIFA does that. FIFA shared that stat again and again. So is FIFA wrong on his part? No, because it's Sunil Chhetri's achievement, and it's his not fault that he's playing against Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, because that's what the qualifiers, our matches are against. Whenever India has played against top team in past, he has scored against. He has scored that goal against Oman in Bangalore against Al Abzi from his left foot. What a goal! One of the best goals Sunil Chhetri I have seen scoring. So, and he has scored against in Asia Cup 2011 against South Korea. He has scored against Thailand in Asia Cup. So whenever he gets chance to play against big teams, he has scored. Another point which somebody has said, Ronaldo and Messi teammates are also world class. That's the another point. Even Ronaldo playing for Sporting Lisbon, then playing for Manchester United, getting the best ever facilities a footballer can get. Something very similar for Lionel Messi. Initial days in a struggle in Argentina, but coming to Barcelona, one of the best academy setup in the world, and getting those facilities, then playing for the best clubs in the world, becoming Ronaldo, Messi. And this is not disrespect to the Ronaldo, Messi. We are showing that Sunil Chhetri is there, being the active goal scorer. I think it's respect to the Sunil Chhetri's hard work, dedication, and whatever effort he has put in for Indian football, and even for South Asian football. And I think I know lots of people respect Sunil Chhetri, what he's done, not just for Indian football, for Nepalese people also, because Sunil Chhetri has gone on record to say that he's proud to be Nepalese, and I think that's what he should bound our region together. And I think today I just wanted to say, because there is chances that he might go second, and the Lionel Messi fan in India or other part of the world try to disrespect Sunil Chhetri again. And I think they should need to understand, and this is for especially Indian people who watch European football. They don't understand how international football works, where Indian football stand this moment, and the kind of Sunil Chhetri came to Indian football in 2005, when we don't even have a proper training facilities anywhere in India. And since then, he's playing for India for 16 years. I think people need to ask themselves, have you done one thing for 16 years in your life and do it successfully? That man has done that for 16 years. It's not easy, sometimes. And I think I feel bad sometimes people doing that. I think they should respect what Sunil Chhetri has done for India, considering we are not a footballing nation. And I think if Indian football fans sharing the updates, if media is sharing the update, it's the update because deserve to be shared, because he has done that. He has scored those 79 goals for India, even with these difficult situations, circumstances with the Indian football. So I think that's from my end. Anything more you want to say, Sudesh, regarding the game or the Indian football and Nepal football?
No, I want to add something on the point that you just made. So I consider professional sports to be the pinnacle of human abilities that, anyone can attend. You cannot just be like, I'm a talented player, but I don't train on a weekly basis, but I can still go on to a football match and nail everyone else out. It's literally the peak of human abilities. I can see where that is coming from. You cannot actually compare the quality of the teams that are in South Asia to the teams that play in Europe. I can understand that, but still, it's professional sports, and then it's what your body is put into line, and it's the ultimate test that you can grow through. And Sunil Chhetri has proved himself day in and day out ever since 16 years, and I don't think that's small of an achievement. So let's stop the comparisons and let's stop being
Indian football fans. They don't compare. They understand what Messi or Ronaldo have achieved in their life. They are one of the best footballers world will ever see, and we should feel lucky to see Messi and Ronaldo playing against each other or together in an era of ours.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you need to discredit what Sunil Chhetri has done for India.
Exactly.
If Sunil Chhetri was born in Portugal or in Argentina, he might have done bigger things, because he would have got world-class facilities, world-class teams, world-class clubs to play for. That would have changed him. So you have to respect the fact that he was born in India and done this much for your country, and score those. And this is nothing against the people from outside India, This is for the Indian people I've seen on social media. Making joke of it, why you are comparing. Nobody is comparing Ronaldo and Messi with Sunil Chhetri. FIFA, when FIFA is posting that list of goal scorer, they're not no fool in the world will do comparison between Sunil Chhetri and Ronaldo and Messi. It's just the fact that it's a record, it's a stat which FIFA keep a track of it, world media keep a track of it, and that will keep on coming. There is a UAE guy who has scored 76 goals, 77 goals. His name also comes in, and people, they still say, okay, it's fine, the UAE guy, but it's not fine for an Indian to be that on that list. So if people don't understand, Sunil Chhetri have not scored all goals against Nepal. He just scored 7 of his 79 goals against Nepal. So he has scored against various nations. Whenever India has played, he has scored. He scored hat-trick against Vietnam. Vietnam is now one of the best team in Asia. So that's my point altogether. Whenever he got chances, he has scored against big nations. It's just that it's not his fault that he's born in India and he scored 79 goals by playing against these nations. If you go to the record of Lionel Messi and even Ronaldo, they have not scored all their international goals against France, Portugal, Spain, Brazil. They have also faced these weaker opponents many times in the qualifiers, and that's the bulk of scoring has come against. So I think, and this is nothing against the world people from outside India. This is against the Indian people who watch European football, doesn't watch Indian football, doesn't understand Indian football, and then they comment something like this, and and I feel bad. And I think we need, as an Indian, we need to respect Sunil Chhetri more, because what he has done for Indian football in last 15, 16 years to keep international football alive in India. And he was single-handedly responsible for taking India to the two Asia Cup. It's not a joke, he scored hat-trick in the AFC Challenge Cup final in 2008, done fantastically well in those qualifiers toward AFC Asian Cup 2019. I think, and he's only Indian to score in the two Asian Cup. What that tell you, that if India play regularly in the Asian Cup, he could have scored more goals in the Asian Cup. So I think that's the only thing. Sunil Chhetri is the best player in this of modern era, I think, and we should respect the fact, and we should respect that he is there in that list. And this is not just for Indian, for South Asian, Indian South Asian guy to be there in the list. Even Ali Asfaq has scored 57, 56, 57 goals for Nepal, for Maldives, sorry. And once upon a time, I remember when Sunil Chhetri was around these similar goals, Ronaldo was around 70 goal. Whenever the active top 10 goal scorer list used to come, Ali Asfaq used to be also there, and then the people used to make fun of Maldives and India both together. So I think that's bad on the people part, because they don't understand that why and how Sunil Chhetri has done that. It's not easy. Just start doing something in a life for each and every day, daily basis. You will understand, to do it for 16 years for your country, it's not a joke. And especially considering India doesn't play the matches, the number of matches. There's another stat, which Lukaku has broke. I think he has scored 60 goals, and he has the fastest 60 goal. Sunil Chhetri is second fastest, by the way, on that list. He has done in the lesser games than anybody else, because India doesn't play as regular as Portugal or Argentina. So we have to give credit to Sunil Chhetri for what he's done. There is no comparison between him and Ronaldo and Messi. It just that's an international stat which is shared by FIFA and every media. But respect the Chhetri, what he has done for Indian football. What Messi and Ronaldo is for Portugal and Argentina, I think that is what Sunil Chhetri is for Indian football fans, at least. I can't speak about majority of other Indians who don't watch Indian football and who watch European football, but I think what Sunil Chhetri has done for India is it's amazing, I think, and we should respect the fact. Brendan will not play final, so chances for Sahel to start for India, Kunal. I think Sahel has a good chances to start for India, if you ask me. But it depends on coach that will he start or not. After retirement of Sunil Chhetri, there will be no one to score, and I feel for India, I think who will be scoring, do the burden of scoring for India. Unpopular opinion, if we're criticizing Stimac for losing, we should give him credit for winning, and I'm so happy I got back Manvi. He scored a perfect striker goal. I think, as I said before also, it's coach responsibility, whatever happened in the football pitch. If they are winning, coach should get the majority of credit instead of player. If they are losing, coach should get the credit of losing also. I think so, as simple as that. And Igor Stimac has done well in last two games. He has made his team now, he has not changed his team coming into Maldives game. He has stick to what is working for him, 4-4-2 formation, and I think that's great. Let me see. Chhetri's retirement match should be against Messi. That's my dream. Let's hope. I think Baichung Bhutia's final game for India was against Bayern Munich. I remember that game in Delhi. I think that's one of the first time I started taking Indian football more and more seriously. I was watching Indian football since 2008, but that game against Bayern made me a hardcore Indian football fans. And because, and I will tell you why. I saw an Indian player, Baichung Bhutia, an Indian legend, a team from Germany, a biggest club in the world, coming to Delhi in between of the season. Of course, there was a winter break in Bundesliga, coming to India for his farewell game. And then I knew, what Baichung Bhutia has done for his country, because the fact that the club from Germany is respecting him, they're coming, and of course, there's a commercial reason behind it. Audi was organizing the match, but that's still the fact that they're respecting Baichung Bhutia to give him farewell game. And then we Indians should do more for him, and that moment I felt that I need to, watch Indian football more passionately, do something for Indian football. And that's where my journey started. I created a Facebook page called Baiching Bhutia True Football Legend during the build-up of those games, that game, and that's how I started doing social media stuff for Indian football. And just after those that game against Bayern in 2012 January, I thought of creating that Facebook page called Indian Football Team, and rest in history for me. That page is the official page of national team today, and I feel proud that I got those 300k people or 400k people liking that page even without official named or tagged from AFF. It was an unofficial page. I was doing everything I could have done for Indian football. So I think that's what we Indians should do for our footballers, considering the training facilities, considering the exposure they doesn't get, and that's important. Media exposure also plays the role, yeah. I remember I've studied about, I've watched Baiching Bhutia, whatever he's done, Zidane Kaka match, scoring for Zidane 11 in that charity game, and I've watched all those games on full. So after that, I started taking Indian football very seriously. Sunil Chhetri and Baiching Bhutia both played against Manchester United. If you guys don't know, against Sunil Chhetri played in the preseason friendly for his club, MLS club, whereas Baiching Bhutia played in the league FA Cup game against Manchester United for Bury FC in England. So that's great. Let's wrap up, Sudesh. You given your prediction saying Nepal go to extra time, winning it. I have given a prediction 3-1 for India. Any final thoughts before we end this stream now? I've asked you multiple times, but this is the final again.
Yeah, it was a fun stream, to be honest. And despite the technical difficulties, I think we've covered much of the match. And ever since day one, Ashish and I anticipated this to be kind of, the tournament where we can actually see India and Nepal play each other in the final. And this is a dream final for, people from both the countries. So I think it's still there to be played, but I'm very excited for this match as much as you guys are excited about this. And also, beyond our YouTube channel, please watch out for content on Khel Now TV. We cover everything before the game, and if you need to do further readings, it's an in-depth coverage that happens right there. So stick with us. We'll be here after the match as well. I don't know who's gonna be the sad one, either Ashish or me, but still keep tuning in to Khel Now TV.
I would have traded SAFF Championship trophy for not losing against Nepal, but now considering we're playing Nepal in the final, and I am a bit worried. But I think India's experience of playing various final should come handy now. Nepal has not played any SAFF final in past, so I think. But considering that, I think it's open game. I think this is first final in recent time in SAFF Championship where I'm not feeling confident of India going into the final. Last time it was in 2013, when India was very bad. Even in 2011 and 2015, Afghanistan was good. I was confident that India will win this game. I think this final has looked tricky for me considering our depth in defense. And let's see, I think, what our defenders do and how they do it. I think it's great. Thank you guys for joining in. There are some technical difficulties we face in the initial part of the video. Apologize for that. Just if you have liked what we're doing here, you can hit the like button. There will be press conference article from India and Nepal, English will be coming on khelnow.com. And you can read that match previews and everything. Sudesh is already writing an article of top 5 matches between India and Nepal. So look for that also. There are lots of historical content we are going to do going into the final game. So thank you for watching in. We will see you again after the game. Hopefully best team win. Talking about the poll in the chat, there is only 664 votes today, unlike the last day. But 67% feel that India will win, considering this game for majority of Indian people watching, and 33% feel that Nepal will win. We hope that, finger crossed, hope the best team wins, and let's hope we have a great final, and entertaining final. Both teams play attacking football, I think, with the full stadium behind them. So thank you, Sudesh, for joining in. I will see you again, hopefully, after the final game.